Lessons learned. What what lessons I learned from being a cripple for best of 8 months, I think, last year. About 8 months I couldn't walk. And not only could I not walk, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't go to the supermarket without, because I was on two crutches. So it's hard to carry stuff. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do all the things that let off the pressure. I couldn't ride a bike. I couldn't lift a weight. Everything hurt. Interesting thing about pain and chronic pain and constant pain is my hips were kind of wore out, basically. They're just done, bone on bone, chunks missing out of the bone, not much left of it. And the pain starts to, I think it must be the body just does it because it's so intense. It tends to spread it out. So then my back hurt, my shoulders hurt, everything hurts. You touch me, it hurts. And afterwards, when I had the hips done, nothing hurt. My back didn't hurt anymore. Nothing hurt anymore. Everything was pain-free. It was an interesting time. What I learned was I kind of lost my identity in a sense where I became this other person. Someone that needed care. I needed to be cared for. Lucky enough, I had someone in my life that cared for me. Like Star cared for me. She did everything for me. I couldn't do anything. It got to the stage where I couldn't make my bed. I couldn't make a coffee. I couldn't go to the supermarket. I couldn't get up the stairs. I couldn't drive the car. And in that, you become this, you're relying on somebody 100%. And I've always been independent. I'm never the last in anything. I'm never the worst guy in the room. I'll always look for the weakest guy and be better than him, whatever it is. So it's just one of those ones where I lost who I was. And all of a sudden, this other guy start driving the boat because they have these, like, in life, you've got all these characters that you play. You've got all these different personas. You've got all these different characters. So, for instance, you're different with your mother than you are with your wife or your girlfriend, with your brother, with your sister, with your father, with your son, with your daughter, with your partner, and with your boss. You're all these different characters, and they all play a little role, and they all do different things. I remember the week before I was getting the surgery, I had this kind of like a bit of a meltdown, and I couldn't understand what it was, why I was getting so upset, whereas here was this kind of like golden ticket to get me out of this misery. Because it wasn't just me, it was everybody around me. It affected everybody. And I had to think about it, and Joe always has this thing. Always ask your subconscious, ask your mind a positive question before you go to bed, because it will know the answer. When you wake up, you'll know the answer. It's a very important one. So always ask your subconscious mind a positive question before you go to bed. You'll have the answer when you wake up, or you'll dream about it. And what I realized was this character, the victim, the cripple, had taken over, and everything was being done for me. He didn't have to do anything. Nothing. Hardly had to wipe his ass. And now all of a sudden, after the surgery, he was going to be gone. And it was that character giving out, complaining, moaning, upset that, my death is imminent. And it was a very interesting, very, very interesting period. When I woke up from the surgery, I was overjoyed. It was like Christmas came. The pain was gone. I woke up with no pain, zero pain. Everything was gone. And I'd seen the x-ray when I woke up, because they x-ray you in bed, and I saw 2 brand new, proper, resurfaced hips. And I was overjoyed. I didn't sleep that night with excitement because I knew what was going to happen. And we're 8 months on now. I don't even think about it. I had a guy get in touch with me yesterday on the gram. And I made a bunch of videos of the progress, how bad it got. And then afterwards, and he had gone to the same guy to get the surgery. Because there is only one guy to do the surgery, Cohen de Schmidt in Belgium. He's the dude. There's nobody else to go to. And he just sent me a message saying, look, I really thank you very much. I made a great decision. I got my hip done on Friday. and I feel terrific. And it just gives you your life back. It gives you that character, your main character, your soul almost back to who you were or who you aspire to be, or the main character in your life that the true self is. And it just gives you that back and that control of your life. And yeah, it was an amazing lesson. There was days where I was like, fuck man, I can't take any more. And then it just got worse. And then fucking I have to. There's a photograph that I used to have on my wall when times were dark for me, and I'll talk about this some other day, but I had a dark period in my life for a few years where I couldn't look in the mirror. And I had a picture of Samuel Beckett, and he was an Irish author, very famous author, but he had this, when he got old, he looked like you could see the years and the age and the life on his face, you know? And it just had this quote, "I can't go on, I will go on." And I used to use that as a mantra for myself, you know? Or the other one I used to say was, look, whatever it is can always be worse. And that's probably the one I use now. So whatever's happened to you in life, you know, and you think, oh, poor me, and shit, man, life's so bad and all that, it can always be worse. So count your blessings. You know, you're on the bike, it's raining. You think, oh, fuck, it's raining. I fucking hate my life. Look at this fucking rain. You get a puncture. It's like, fuck's sake, I've got a puncture. Fuck's sake, you know. Then you get 2 punctures at the same time. Or you forgot to bring your toolbox with you. Now you're walking. And you think, fucking hell. Then a car goes by, hits a puddle, drowns you. So it can always be worse. So deal with what you have to deal with. Accept what you have and work your way out. Because there's a way out of hell. You just got to find the door. Get a mentor.
Your turn, deep breath.